Alright crew, welcome back to another episode of K2 Paranormal. I'm Jackson. I'm currently just out of Perth at the moment. I am in Sawyers Valley. We have come to this area that you can sort of see behind me. This is Parkerville's Children's Cemetery. Now, if seeing kids' graves and that sort of thing, if you're not too comfortable with it, then you don't have to watch this episode. I totally understand. It's not really going to be a ghosty one. We're just going to do a little bit of a talk about the history of this place. And then we'll go through a walkthrough and we'll have a look at some of the graves here and the names and the stuff of the kids and what happened with them. So this whole area here, this used to be known as Sexton's Sawmill up in Sawyers Valley, which is just out of Midland a little bit, probably about 20 or 30 kilometres out of the actual city itself. Most of this area is farming rural areas. It's off of the main highway, Great Eastern Highway, that goes from Midland all the way up to Kalgoorlie. The children home, which is a little bit further up, was founded in 1903. That's still operating today. We're not allowed to go in and have a look. I will get some extra footage as we leave of the actual building itself, but we're not allowed in there because the kids are actually still using that building itself. So between 1903 and 1914, the numbers of children increased at the homes, and obviously with deaths and stuff as well about that. The nuns or the sisters or the people that used to bring the bodies up here, they would use a horse and cart. They would bring them up this gravel road which we've just come up and into this area and bury the kids also in this cemetery. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little walk around. We'll have a look at some graves. There is a plaque here that has all their names on it. We'll do that. I did bring a motion ball, a cat ball, so I will use that, and we'll just leave it around. I'm not going to entice anything, but we'll just see, you know, if there are little bits of toys here. I've just been looking, there's like balls and little match cars and stuff like that, so people do bring toys here. So we're just going to have a walk around and go from there. So in December of 1901, they actually bring 22 orphans from England over on like the bride ships or whatever the ships were that were actually coming into Fremantle. They had convict ships. They had a whole different variety of different ships back in those days. And then obviously with the kids that were coming over, they made this spot up here, which is Parkerville Children's Home. The deaths ranged from about 9 weeks to 3 years old. The last person that was actually buried here was a 2-year-old in 1919, which is, it's pretty sad, but back in the day there wasn't a lot of medicines and stuff like that, so dysentery, typhoid, like even lice, like all these things like that, the kids they weren't immune to these things back in the day. There wasn't many medicines that they could have to counteract this, so unfortunately death was very common for kids that were under 5 years old. During the 1950s, there actually was a bushfire that swept through this whole area here and all through back in this cemetery. There was only one cross that was actually concrete at the time that survived the fires. All the rest of these crosses here that you can see, they've all been remade over the time to mark the actual graves of the kids. But yeah, we'll go for a walk through here. I've got my K2 meter obviously that I take everywhere, and the little motion ball. We'll set that up and we'll have a walk. It is very nice, so I'll show you guys the surrounding areas. We are in sort of an open area of Sawyers Valley, of the bush itself, so I'll show you a few different areas and we'll get into it, and yeah, you guys can have a look at the Parkerville Children's Cemetery. Alright, so just before we enter, they do have like a list here, like a memorial list of all the kids that are actually like buried in these plots. So when the fires came through in 1950, a lot of these crosses that you can sort of see down here, all these have been replaced due to the fire. They're all wooden. There was one that remained for that after the bushfires, and it's this one here that, bit hard to see, there we go. So this one is actually the original grave, that because it was made out of marble at the time, so it was the only one that was left after the fires. But I did have, you can sort of hear people off in the distance chopping some wood and stuff. It is like a rural area. This actual section of the cemetery is actually on a private property, but because of the nature of this area, they allow people to come. Obviously people put flowers here. There are some new flowers. There's a lot of little kids toys and stuff like that. I do have my K2. I'm not going to indulge too much into the paranormal side of this because it is a children's cemetery. I just wanted to come up while I was in Perth. I thought, you know, come up and do a few videos. So I do have a motion ball cat ball as well. I'm just curious. I just want to sit this down somewhere and just see if I get any interaction, if there is anything here. And it is peaceful. Look, it is a beautiful day. It's nice. We're up in the hills, so as you can see, like there's a bit of a clearing out to this side here. This whole section of the cemetery isn't very big. I mean, it's probably 20 by 20 meters or something like that, roughly. It's just but there are about 30 graves. Not many of them have names on them, unfortunately. There's only 24 that actually had names. There was still 6 kids that were buried that didn't have a name or any identity at the time. So yeah, we'll have I'll spin the camera around. We'll put the little motion ball down, and I'll use the EMF, the K2 meter. So I'll spin this around. We'll have a little walk around. I'll show you some of these extra little graves, and yeah, we'll just go from there. It's a nice day, so let's do this. Alrighty, so as you can sort of see, they sort of start here. You got a couple here. You got a few more up, about 6 around the tree here, and they just sort of weave through. There is a lot more on the other side of those trees there. There is a couple of little memorial plaques as you walk through. There's not. I guess they would have made the area big enough to bury people, you know, for the future. Like, it wasn't just for that period. So, all right. So maybe we'll just put this here. So I'll turn it on. It's a little bit harder to see during the day, but what we'll do is we'll sit that there. I'll try to get it in the shade a little bit more. There we go. All right, so that's in the shade. It is hard to see, but I'll just keep rolling in case it goes off. And we'll just do a quick sweep with the EMF. We'll just see if there's anything residual, and we'll go from there. Alright, so that now has actually stopped. So what I'll do is we'll just do a quick sweep with this. It is a little bit of a drive up here. Once you come off the main highway, like Great Eastern Highway, you sort of got to weave through a little bit. There are a couple of dirt tracks. Oh yep, there we go. That was a pretty big hit. Now there are no power lines or anything here, so there shouldn't be any electrical interference from anything. But you can see. There we go, some toys there, the matchy cars and stuff. Where I'm starting to get a bit of EMF now. Whoa, there we go. Is there anyone here that would like to come and talk or play? You can come and talk to me. My name's Jackson. we'll just go for a, oh, look at that, spikes on the EMF already. We'll just go for a little bit of a walk over here. Yeah, there's quite a few. There's a lot more graves in this area here. But yeah, I mean, there's so many little toys here. It's amazing. It's a long way out from anything, but I guess they've still got families and stuff. Whoa, there we go. I've got to keep an eye on that motion ball as well, just in case that goes off. So when the people that were looking after the kids used to bring them down here, once they died, the teachers or the sisters or the nuns or whoever was actually in charge of the home at the time, whoa, that's gone off, they used to use a horse and cart and bring them down that dirt road that we've just walked down. The car's a little bit further up because I couldn't bring the car right up here, but yeah, we're definitely getting some EMF. I'm not coming back to do this at night. I didn't want to do this at night time. Whoa, what was that? Is there anyone here that would like to talk? Well, we'll go just back over to the motion ball. Alright, we'll see if anyone wants to can you, if you're here, can you come and move this little ball just so it lights up? Can you move that little ball just there? That'd be really cool. Still getting flickers on the K2 like that. Is there somebody here? So that one there, that's the original one. That's of a baby called Mary that died at 14 months. The last person that was actually buried here was buried in 1919, and she was only 2 years old. That was the last burial. I'm not going to be doing any other paranormal stuff apart from the K2 and that. Also out of respect of, you know, these kids, the babies that are here. Generally just wanted to come up and see the area. It is out the way. It's a long way from, you know, where I normally go, but yeah, so we still getting flickers on this. Can somebody come and move this little ball just here on Mary's grave? Oh yeah, K2's still getting flicks. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but that's okay. That's all part of it. Alright, well, I'm going to have to go shortly, okay? So, if there's anything you want to say, you can say it. Oh, look at that. Oh. Is that somebody here? Can you make this device in my hand light up a little bit more? If you come and touch it, can you come and touch what's in my hand to make it light up? Can you do that? You don't have to be scared. It's just a toy, that's all. Alright. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy I've got a little bit of EMF. I'm not going to go too much into the paranormal side of things with this. It is a very touchy subject. It's kids. It's you know. So I have to be respectful. I've got to be mindful of that. All right. Thank you for your time. If that was you trying to communicate, I'm going to go now because I can't be here for too long. So, all right. We'll put this one away. Haven't had the motion ball go off, but that's pretty standard, you know, on investigations. I don't expect to get answers every time, and that's fine. I'm not here to provoke or entice spirits or anything like that. Alright, so while I was doing the investigation up at the Parkerville Children's Cemetery, I did have a mate with me who wasn't really in the video for a lot of the shots. He sort of went off and just went for a walk on his own. When he came back, he actually had this story of he thought he'd heard like a lady humming or singing this tune, and he was quite distraught about it. I did ask him if he would like to do an interview, so now I'm going to interview my mate, and he will actually explain like what he heard, because I was sort of doing one thing and he was off doing another. So I'm going to let you hear from my mate like what actually happened, what his experience was at the Children's Cemetery.
Hello, my name's Aaron. I've known Jackson since I was 11, and this is the first day I agreed to come along. During the daytime he's offered, before at night time, no thank you, not my cup of tea. Not something I ascribe to, but something I just really interested in Jackson's passion, so I thought I'd tag along. And you know, Jackson was doing his thing. It was amazing to watch, but I thought I'm making too much noise, rustling in the background. You might see me occasionally, catch me sort of hiding behind a rock trying to like not be in the way. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for a little bushwalk and look for a certain shaped log for another friend of mine who's building a pergola, and he really wants that certain curved branch. I was like, this is the spot to find beautiful old growth jarrah dropped, dried in the right shape. So I just go for a little wander, maybe 50 meters away, 60 meters away, out of sight, out of hearing, little tiny lap, and while I'm searching, just looking, focusing on wood. What a great day we've had. Catch up with Jackson's fucking amazing. I haven't seen you for 2 years. And I hear this singing, and I think, oh, someone must be walking as well. I'll say hello, the awkward hello, and it da 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 da, like a real gentle lady's voice. As it got louder, I just went for a long time, long enough to see someone, so I sort of think, okay, it's radio. Do I have my phone on me? And I sort of pat. Maybe, you know, you press the button on your pocket. Oh, you press YouTube. Didn't bring my phone. I left it on the bench so that I didn't interrupt the recording. It's daytime. The singing gets louder. And I'm at this point, it's like as loud as my voice. It's been going for a little while. And I look through the clearing and I realise that we hadn't passed a house for about 1 kilometre. This is sort of natural forest, there's no houses, people's radios. And we're hanging out at a baby cemetery. And I was hearing a lullaby. I can't explain that, but I know what happened. And I'm done. No, I don't want to go back.
Yep, that's fair enough too. All right, well, yeah, thanks for telling us what you heard, and yeah, definitely of a concern, I think, with the area that we're in. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. That was Parkerville Children's Cemetery. Like I said at the start, it wasn't really a ghosty thing. I just wanted to come here and sort of explain a little bit about the history of the place. And it's nice being up in the hills as well. So I appreciate you guys. If you haven't already done so, you can jump down right now, hit like, comment, subscribe. You can share on my channels. You can do all those cool things that helps me out. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay spooky, guys. Catch ya.